Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. Still can't get my intro straight after 2.5 years on air. But anyway, listen. I'm going to talk about a crime that occurred yesterday in Miami, Florida. A horrific crime at that, man. May this woman rest in peace. I ain't showed it to you yet, so hold on. This occurred, like I said, in Miami, Florida. Shout out Miami, at a place called Del Toro Insurance Company in Little Havana. And it's involving this woman right here. This woman right here, her name is Indiana Mendoza. She just celebrated her 32nd birthday. She's from Nicaragua and been in this country 2 years. And now she's dead at the hands of this man right here. This is her estranged husband, Ronaldo Sandoval. I don't know this man, but evidently he's a big giant kid. Where this guy went into her place of work, which was this insurance company, and shot her in the heart before taking the gun and taking himself out of here. And you see this a lot, you know, and you're seeing this, it's a reoccurring pattern. And I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but ladies and gentlemen, and I'll explain this later on in the video, this is just the tip of the iceberg among the atrocities you're going to start seeing between men and women that shouldn't be together. This guy's 61 years old. She's 32 years old. And you can find love in the strangest places. But a lot of times, it's a recipe for disaster. Take a look at this.
Now to new details after a murder-suicide in Miami at an insurance building.
Police say a man shot his estranged wife before turning the gun on himself. Local 10's Michaela Hightower is live at the scene with reaction from the victim's family on this domestic violence tragedy. Michaela.
Christy and Janine, this is a really sad case of domestic violence, one involving GPS tracking and alleged harassment for the victim and the entire family. That we spoke to the older sister, who said she begged her sister to go back to Nicaragua because things got so bad. She said she had a bad feeling, a feeling that turned out to be right.
Que la amo, que ella siempre va a ser mi niña.
Fighting through tears, Maria Guzman, the sister of Indiana Mendoza, describes a horrific relationship her sister had with her estranged husband before police say he took her life, then took his own.
Que fue un poco hombre.
He wasn't a real man. He made the decision because he didn't think about his family or my mother, and that he knew he was going to kill her. Guzman says her sister was paranoid for good reason, as she constantly faced threats and stalking, even going as far as predicting her own death on social media, posting this video saying, "Whatever happens to me after I post this video, he's responsible for. I put blame on him for anything that happens to me." The Nicaraguan journalist would go to work Monday morning.
Ella, después de la corte, ella quedó con el temor.
Call her sister to let her know she arrived safely. Except she wouldn't know her sister, Indiana's life would be taken after hanging up that call.
Ese día, la última llamada que tuve con ella fue a las 7:53.
That day, the last call I had with her was at 7:53, a few minutes before he killed her. Police say inside the Del Toro Insurance Company on the corner of Northwest 27th Avenue and Flagler Street is where she was met by her estranged husband, 61-year-old Ronaldo Sandoval, with a gun. Guzman describes him as a violent man.
Ella tenía un golpe aquí en la cara.
She had an injury right here on her face, right here on her shoulder, and this part here as well. She says restraining orders weren't enough. Even an arrest where he was later released wouldn't keep him away. He harassed Indiana and the entire family. Sandoval was arrested April 2nd for alleged stalking and violating a domestic violence injunction. He didn't know where she lived, and he knows what he did. He put a GPS on my brother's car, and he got to where she lived. Guzman believes law enforcement could have done more. And while that murder happened at 8 o'clock in the morning here at El Toro Insurance offices, that sister said she didn't learn of her sister's death until 2 in the afternoon. She said she didn't learn it from police, but instead from family in Nicaragua, as it had already hit the news in their country. She says she's now making plans to take her sister back to their land to bury her where their family still resides. Reporting live in Miami, Michaela Hightower, Local 10 News.
He killed her. He killed her, and to make matters worse, he didn't even have the guts and killed himself.
The sister of a woman shot by her ex-husband in a murder-suicide speaks exclusively to NBC6. That woman just celebrated her 32nd birthday.
NBC6's Jamie Garola joins us live now in Miami with the interview you'll see only on 6. Jamie.
Yeah, that murder-suicide happened inside the office of El Toro Insurance. The victim's family says that they had a violent history, but they never thought it would end like this.
My sister was a very cheerful, very hardworking girl. She was 100% dedicated to her work. We came here because she had the dream of every migrant, of building her house and one day returning to her country.
But that dream of returning to Nicaragua cut short Monday morning when police say Indiana Guzman was shot and killed, allegedly by the hands of her ex-husband. Indiana's sister, Maria, spoke exclusively to NBC6, but she was too emotional to show her face on camera.
I just came here with her 2 years ago, and I brought her alive, and now I have to take her dead.
Miami police say they responded to the office of El Toro Insurance in Little Havana after reports of shots fired around 8 o'clock. When they arrived, they found 32-year-old Indiana and her ex-husband, Reynaldo Sandoval, dead with gunshot wounds. Maria says investigators told her her sister was shot in the heart.
This morning at 8 a.m., I spoke to her on the phone, and she told me, I'm getting out of the Uber, I'm almost at work. She was going to call me at noon, but she didn't call, and sadly, I found out from someone else.
Maria says the two used to work together before splitting up, and the pair had a history of problems. Sandoval allegedly beat up Indiana and harassed her, even after she moved out and after 2 restraining orders were issued. Nearly 2 weeks ago, police arrested Sandoval for stalking and domestic violence and violating the protective order.
She made the wrong decision, and sadly, he killed her. He killed her, and to make matters worse, he didn't even have the guts and killed himself. He killed himself and left a whole family behind.
Now, El Toro issued a statement earlier saying that the shooting was reprehensible and regrettable. They called Indiana a hard worker and expressed their condolences. Reporting live in Little Havana, Jamie Garola, NBC6 News.
Guys, that's the sad outcome of this woman dealing with this guy, Reynaldo Sandoval, 61-year-old child. Won't take no for an answer. You're seeing this like it's nothing now. Bunch of men losing their cool, not having good sense to begin with. And when they take that mask off, all hell breaks loose. He put a GPS tracker on her car, had a history of beating her ass. She got tired of wanting to get away from him. Nothing wrong with that. He put a GPS tracker on the brother's car. So he found the car and did some Mission Impossible stuff and stuck a magnetic tracker on the car. 2 weeks ago, he just got out. They gave him bond. Domestic violence, violating the restraining order. That shows you the piece of paper ain't shit. Nobody care about it. And he's out. As soon as he got out, more than likely, he was mad at her over that. His actions resulted in her going to the law to try to stop him and have him leave her alone. That's all you had to do was leave her alone. Couldn't do that. You get locked up. I'm more than sure this son of a bitch was like, it's her fault. And they let him out. See that? All these people in high places that are smart and all this other shit, and this will deter crime, and this will do this, and this will do that. It ain't doing shit. This woman was shot in the heart in her place of work. She predicted her own death on fucking social media. If something happened to me, he did it. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Let's stay just on that for a second. Hear me. Do you know how hopeless you have to feel or exhausted with all the avenues you went down to where you're being pestered by a maniac and not getting the adequate help you need from the system, the same system that's made to protect you and had you go through all these different avenues to get them to get this motherfucker to get off your back, for you to say that she was at her wit's end. She was all out of ideas. This guy's not going to stop. And I'm more than sure he told her multiple times, I'm going to kill you. Fuck that. Fuck the police. Fuck the order. And nobody can take you away from me. And I'm going to hurt you. How do you go from being loving, getting the girl to marry you, to being an absolute devil and demon in her life after things go south? Do you think about that? People in high places don't worry about the shit down there. Nobody likes to look down. They constantly looking up. Why? Because as human beings, we're constantly moving forward. They don't give a fuck. They don't. And this is your proof. Just like other stories I do. But they don't give a shit. They need to get rid of that restraining order bullshit altogether. And then when they catch motherfuckers kicking ass, lock them up 10, 20 years. They know they ain't supposed to be doing it. At least that'll give that person enough adequate time to get their life together and move on before this son of a bitch get out. Ain't no damn way you out here beating ass and showing that you obviously not going to listen to the law and all that stuff, and you get bond. And that's what happened. Somebody need to be sued. And people that do this type of shit need to be held accountable, that are in the justice system, that allow this shit to happen. Because it happens all the damn time. It's a common thing. It's hard-headed motherfuckers out here and don't give a damn about nobody except themselves. Think about it. He went to that job and turned it into a crime scene. He was bitch enough because he didn't want to go to jail. So he killed himself. If she meant that much to you, to where you'll take yourself out to take her out because you're not getting your way or lost control with her, should have done right in the first place. Now let's get to this age thing. And we need to really talk about this. I'm not dating no motherfucking woman that's 30 years younger than me. She just turned 32. So they're together. I don't know how long they was married, because she only been here 2 damn years. And that shit went south that bad. I'm gonna tell you something. When you see a man 60-something years old fucking with a woman 30-something years old, that's where his mindset is on her level. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. A 61-year-old man has what? A lot of accrued wisdom and life. If he got good sense, at 30 years old, she gonna go through trials and errors that he done went through and don't want to go back through. As any grown man, we don't want to deal with the headache. Yeah, she was attractive for him. And he liked that, but he could have kept it a buck with her. You understand what I'm saying? For a man that age to go down that low in age to a woman, she not on his level because his life is miles ahead of her with the stuff he learned and all of that stuff. You can't stick 61 years of knowledge or whatever into somebody 31 years old and have her be on his level. He got to come down mentally to her level. So either it was some kind of commonality that they shared, whether it was dancing or whatever, that he was doing, making him appear attractive to her. He had to stoop down. That's like a man that's 25 dealing with a girl that's 15. He ain't got no 25-year-old mind. He don't. His mindset is closer to hers, and that's where the connection come from. He's the kid. He was the fucking problem, and he proved it when he chased her down and killed her. You beat motherfuckers up. They got brothers and sisters, and you ain't give a fuck about nothing because you crazy like that. You know, I don't know how family members are, but I know how my family members are. My family is. We didn't have a sister. I got 2 brothers. I didn't have a sister. But me and my brothers was sitting around talking one time, and the news was on and something like this was happening. And we was like, yo, we had a sister and somebody did that to her? Hell no. Me by myself, if I was the only brother and I had a maniac chasing my sister, I would do something about it. Not saying that they didn't, but you understand what I'm saying? It take a lot of balls for a man to run roughshod all over a woman with reckless abandon, putting his hands on her, his feet on her, shooting her, bruising her, where other people can see, including her own family, to where he feels he's not going to get touched. That's a set of balls. Fuck that. I wouldn't go for it. I would go to jail for life to make sure those around me that matter live. That's valiant to me. Because you got to eliminate threats no matter what the cost. What this guy did was some bitch shit. And there are others like him. Go out here. I can't have you. Nobody will. Take the girl out. Take them. That's the most cowardice shit I've ever seen. Seriously, a man can easily overtake a woman. Just mere brawn alone. And to do some old stupid shit like this just shows at his age, he wasn't nothing but a kid. And it's sad that it had to come to this. You heard what the sister said? She came over here with me alive 2 years ago. Now I got to take her back home dead. Shameful. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is a growing phenomenon, and it will only get worse with the way parenting is now. This entitlement people have where you can't tell them nothing. And this hard-headedness and immaturity that you're seeing in a lot of men coming up nowadays with the violence level that's out here in the street. This won't get fixed unless motherfuckers in power decide to fix it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.